All right, everyone, we are live. Apologize for the little delay. Had a little bit of technical delay there for a minute. I couldn't figure out what was going on, but it's that time of the week again. Excited to be with Bix Weir for another Hump Day. V will be joining us here shortly, but we know we had some people waiting. We wanted to go and get the show started because there's just so much to talk about. So, Bix, how are you, man?
I've been good. I've been, fighting the fights that need to be fought these days. And I'm a fighter when it comes to, my dad always said I should have been a lawyer. He was a lawyer. And, when it comes to things that people say that aren't true, or I believe that the analysis is completely wrong, I jump up and down and try to make an argument and explain to people in a way that they can understand why their thinking is so backwards. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we were talking before we went live. Yeah, as far as being diplomatic and not necessarily extreme to one way or the other, but unfortunately, that's how it seems to be nowadays in regards to whether you're a metals fan or you're a crypto fan. It's like it's either you're wrong or you're right, and we're having some people come out even now that are known characters who have contributed towards the collapse and contributed towards all the fraud that's out there. And I'm talking about no other than Jamie Dimon.
Yeah, he came out and he said, let me read the quote. He was talking about Bitcoin and it being tulip bubble like, which I have my own take on what was going on with the tulip bubbles. There was a lot more than they just love to pull that out when they think something's in a bubble because it's supposedly the first bubble. But Jamie Dimon says about Bitcoin, this is a quote, "It's a fraud. It's making stupid people, such as my daughter, feel like they're geniuses. It's going to get somebody killed. I'll fire anyone who touches it." And then literally the price of Bitcoin dives, all the cryptos dive, and JPMorgan Securities Limited ends up buying on the dump. So, and Jamie Dimon is not new to Bitcoin. Blythe Masters runs one of the biggest blockchain-based, I think it's a criminal organization, but they're trying to take over the DTCC by using the blockchain technology that her company's in. And we all know Blythe Masters as the queen, the silver criminal, the silver wicked witch at JP Morgan. After she invented and distributed CDSs, she went over to destroy the commodity markets. But Jamie Dimon knows about the cryptos. He knows about Bitcoin. His traders all trade in Bitcoin for the most part. They've made a lot of money doing that. You can make money. If you're a trader and you're not in Bitcoin, you're completely blind to what's going on. It's easy to trade. And there's an article on Zero Hedge today saying that Jamie Dimon traders brag in all the pubs in England how much money they made in Bitcoin. So Jamie is either completely out of touch. He currently has over 100 people working in his cryptocurrency division, or his blockchain division, and he's throwing meetings on all this stuff. He's either completely out of touch, or he did it to manipulate the market down so that they could buy some more, or just slow down the crypto rise. I think it was the latter. I think Jamie knows exactly what's going on. The real criminal, the real scam, is that unbacked fiat money is created at the bank level. Jamie Dimon, when he writes a mortgage and he gives people money in their account, they don't have that money. They have 1/10 of that money. They create the rest of it and put it in your account. That's the real fraud. At least with Bitcoin, it costs, I think it's $1,000 to mine a Bitcoin these days, is the cost factor of the electricity and the hardware and all that. So yes, and only 21 million coins can ever be invented of Bitcoin. So Jamie Dimon, comparing unbacked fiat money, his current scam and his fraud that he doesn't want to give up, to what's going on in Bitcoin is ridiculous. Jamie Dimon should be in jail as the head of a too big to fail bank that is spouting out and crashing markets like Bitcoin and then going and buying the bottoms. Where is the fiduciary responsibility? Is he buying for his own account? Is he buying for someone else? Jamie Dimon belongs in jail for the 50 other reasons that he belongs in jail as well.
Yeah, truly, almost the likes of a criminal organization, and you nailed it. And I've seen it firsthand in terms of some of the level of corruption that occurs. For example, when you take investment money, and that's one of the things that happened with the mergers of allowing the investment side to merge with the banks. It really opened up the whole Pandora's box, allowing the investors to bring in some of that pool of money, park it in a traditional checking or savings account, just so that the bank can hedge against that money, lend out against it, right? And then just within the number of time period, move those funds over to more of a security, which to me is another form of fraud. That's just purposely manipulating the numbers, right? So you're almost like taking double credit for you. So you're taking credit for it on the banking aspect of it, and then boom, removing that money enough and then moving over to the investment side. So yeah, and I'm glad you did an epic takedown of Jamie Dimon, because in part is the banks fear not only the aspect of cryptocurrency being out of their span of control, but also the transparency that the blockchain brings, Bix.
Oh yeah, it is, well, a couple of reasons why Jamie is saying this publicly, and I think it is illegal that he talks this type of thing with his book, because he's not a normal CEO. He's the CEO of a systemically vital bank that if JPMorgan makes a bad mistake and buys a bad asset or had to get bailed out in 2008 with the rest of them, if JPMorgan fails, then everything falls down. And I think it's absolutely criminal for JPMorgan to be talking out of their ass in one area, which is Bitcoin sucks, and then going to buy it on the fall. I mean, where are the regulators? I mean, Dodd-Frank clearly says they can't do this. And on the silver front, it has been calculated by Ted Butler that JPMorgan owns over 600 million ounces of physical silver. Now, if the Hunt brothers can be thrown, to the dogs for rigging the silver market in 1980 with only 120 million ounces of physical silver, why isn't this systemically risky, bailed out, very important bank, why are they allowed to take this kind of position in physical silver 5 times the size of what the Hunt brothers did in 1980? The criminality, the potential for loss on their derivative book of $50 trillion, I mean, all over the place. This is a systemically important bank that basically, I believe, caused the crash of 2007, 2008. And they're allowed to do these crazy things like buy all that silver and dabble in the cryptocurrencies, like, with over 100 people working on the cryptocurrencies within JPMorgan, and then have the CEO come out and say, oh, Bitcoin is a dog, and it should never be traded. Any trader that I know of who deals in it with JPMorgan will be fired. I want to know how many people he actually fired because of this statement, and all the traders that brag in the pubs in England about trading, getting rich off trading the cryptocurrencies.
Well, I know V has something to say about that.
There she is. In the nick of time. Before I was about to lose it on, I was going to lose it on Jamie Dimon. So you just saved Jamie Dimon. Congratulations.
Oh man, why would I want to save him? I mean, he is the man. I mean, is he not the? I mean, you gotta love Honest Jamie. Honest Jamie, who says, "I'll fire any trader who I get caught trading Bitcoin because he's an idiot," as he backs up his truck and his digital wallet.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine his daughter going to school the next day, and your dad just called you an idiot for buying Bitcoin on global TV? What do you have to say, little Jamie?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe is his daughter's name Jamie too?
I don't know. No,
he probably is. He's such a narcissist. Yeah. He probably named his daughter Jamie and his son Jamie Jr. So Jamie.
I heard an interesting story about Jamie Dimon, that he's probably the only head of a bank that isn't Jewish, and Sandy Weill tried to.
His wife is Jewish.
Yeah, his wife and his whole family is Jewish.
Yep.
But it was only Jamie who held out and said, "I won't become Jewish." And the rumor was, but the rumor was he wanted to become president. He didn't think. Jewish faith person could become president.
Well, yeah, he's right about that. For now.
Oh, they can only just run every single bank in the world.
Unless you're Jewish, transsexual, black Muslim, then you could do it.
There you go.
And
nothing against the Jewish faith. I mean, it happens to be that every single leader of every big bank is Jewish.
Yeah, is a Ashkenazi Jew. Correct. It's like saying there's a medical conspiracy because 80% of the doctors out here are like Indian. It's a freaking Indians and their damn doctors and the Jews and their damn bankers.
Yeah,
certain cultures just put an emphasis on education and success and drive more than others.
Money,
it's just the way it is.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Jamie Dimon is fraught with fraud, and he's so big-headed, and he has the okay from the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve.
They're the clearinghouse for the Fed, man.
Oh yeah, he can do anything he wants, and he gets away with it. So, one day the cryptos will take this bastard out. It's not today, but very soon, I believe.
I mean, how do you call yourself a successful bank president when you have a bank that has close to 40 billion, if not over 40 billion in fees?
Oh,
in
fines, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the business expense. They write that into the deals that they do that are shady. Oh, we got to put 20% on reserve to pay fines, but otherwise we can do all these opium deals that we want.
Oh yeah, nothing like money laundering for the cartels, man. It's just the way it is,
Yeah. And don't forget, Jamie Dimon and JPMorgan were Bernie Madoff's only banker.
But that's just a conspiracy theory. They did everything by the book. They had no idea what Madoff was doing.
They had no idea, as they saw billions go in and out every day of the Madoff account, and they all had to be signed off by the board and by Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely correct, man. Absolutely correct. Chris Duane saying, "I'll be arrested for buying cryptocurrencies." What is this douchebag? What is he talking about?
Chris Duane has lost it.
He's gone Elon Musk.
He's always been angry. He's been an angry elf since I first heard of him back in the mid 2000s. I think he's when he jumped on the silver train.
Oh boy.
He made some good videos, and he got this militant group of Silver Shield people to follow his every word. And truthfully, he was introduced to the cryptos when I think it was $10 or $20 a coin, and he took his stance then. He calls himself morally and intellectually honest, and he'll never change his position. I go, what's
in other words, I'm married to my paradigm, even if it kills me and others.
Yeah, what is it? What if the cryptos continue to roll for the next 5 years, will you pull the plug on it? How about 10 years? How about 20 years? How about 100 years? Will you still say it's only silver that can ever be used as money? The intellectual honesty that he touts is completely ridiculous. He's not intellectually honest.
And be sincerely wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, now I don't go out looking for a fight, but if a fight comes to me, so he's jumping up and down.
Man.
He's jumping up and down.
First of all, you're roughing up guys at a bar in Mexico when you went.
Oh, that was just Tone Vase. He deserved it.
Then you're beating up some old lady named talking about some ACC coin or whatever. She's so convoluted, doesn't know what the hell.
The funny thing about that Lynette Zhang thing.
Don't mention her name. Her name is Leonardo Wang.
The funny thing about that is, yes, I agree. I was kind of harsh on her.
So harsh.
But then when I came out and I apologized for being so harsh. And then all her minions came running towards me and said, "Oh my God, then you agree that this ACC chain is going to take over the world?" I said, "Are you kidding? No, it's ridiculous, the whole concept."
Yeah.
So, but Chris Duane has been calling me out lately, calling me Bix Bernanke, saying I sold my soul. The day that Chris Duane can rain judgment down upon my soul is the day I probably deserve to end up in hell, because the Chris Duanes of the world will never change their position, will always believe that everything they have ever said in the past is correct, even if the world changes. And that's exactly what happened in 2009 with the introduction of the blockchain technology and the Bitcoin white paper. The world changed. The world was given a tool. The whole thing behind silver and gold is not that silver and gold are great. The whole thing behind silver and gold is that they are they were for 5,000 years a solution to a huge problem called unbacked fiat money and the criminal banksters that run it. Well, now we have a new solution and a new tool that's better than the old tool. Yes, I have no problem being flexible and studying what this new tool is. And if it is viable, and I think it absolutely is, it's the only tool that can take us through this at least kind of smoothly. With gold and silver, you'd have a crash of everything. Millions of people would die with no food, electricity, water, or anything. With the cryptocurrency economy being built right next to our current economy, we have a transition method. Yes, it'll be crazy and insane, but there's still something else in place that we can turn to. And he doesn't get it. He absolutely shuts his eyes and shuts his mind to even an ounce of intellectual honesty. So, you know, I usually don't respond, but he keeps calling me out. This time he called me Bix Bernanke. He said I'll be thrown in jail for buying Bitcoin.
What?
Me and everybody who bought Bitcoin will be thrown in jail. All the tens of millions of people.
On what account?
Because the government wants us to. The government wants to throw everybody in jail who utilizes Bitcoin. Now, first of all, I don't want to live in a world where that is the case. That is not the America I know, and I will always fight for the America I know. We will get back to a constitutional form of government, and you will have your choice of currency that you want to choose. That's what America is about. It's not about throwing people in jail because they use cryptocurrency. And Chris Duane, I think, is completely delusional if he thinks we would give up that kind of tyrannical control of our country. And I don't see it. Yes, we have to fight to get our country back from the people who currently manipulate it behind the scenes, but we can do that, and it's being done. I've proven it's being done time and time again. So do I think everybody who owns a cryptocurrency and Bitcoin will be thrown in jail by Chris Duane's, I don't know, what, his black bag police at the end of the day? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And on top of that is this, man. I mean, if you were to believe that, excuse me, you need to think the government is that powerful, that they have the ability to do that, or they have the resources to do that. They just don't. Nor do they have the technology to do that. So what? Oh, you could you have software that could track a transaction from one wallet to another wallet, but you don't know who that wallet belongs to. You have no idea. The wallet ain't putting my name out there. The wallet's putting out a multi-digit alphanumeric identification number up there. You don't know who that is. That's the beauty of the blockchain. Okay, and for Chris Duane to say such bullshit like this, he doesn't understand that, number one. Number two, he doesn't understand how the world works.
Well, his mind closed on day one, and he said it many times. I knew it right when I first saw it, that Bitcoin was a scam, and that's all that's about as deep as he's ever gone on this.
Yeah.
Although he likes to say what Jamie Dimon says now, which is the blockchain is good, but the cryptocurrencies are horrible.
Which is stupid. Which is like saying,
what do we need most?
When you're saying the oven is good, but the turkey being baked in it is garbage.
Well, what we need most in our society today is truth and honesty and money. What we need most is a solution to the current problem of unbacked fiat money run by a few old men in their suits. The cryptocurrencies are solutions. They use the blockchain technology to get the truth and honesty and verification of every transaction. Blockchain, there's nothing that you can separate the two, but why? We need the truth and honesty and money, and why not inject blockchain into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency future that we are barreling towards, because we absolutely are barreling towards it, because it's a great solution for our current problem, which is unbacked fiat money and unbacked fiat debt.
Yep. Exactly correct. Absolutely correct. Plus, the government is on borrowed time anyway, man.
Well, I do think the takedown of the bad guys, the battle behind the scenes between the good guys and bad guys are coming to a head. Trump, before he goes, he can always open the kimono at any time.
I want him to open the kimono. I want him to do something already, for the love of God.
Yeah, he can, but remember, when that happens, the whole shit's going to fall apart. The whole system will fall apart. There will be no banks open. There will be no water or food or anything. Everything will fall apart when you find out that a third of Congress is knee deep in the most horrific stuff you've ever heard of. You've been lied to your whole life. Your air is being polluted. Your food is being drugged and destroyed, and it's all being done for a purpose. So once that kimono is open, the fabric of society, however bad it is currently, will get ripped apart. And so Trump is trying to plan this thing around, I don't know, getting certain things in place, I would assume. He has pivoted once again. He's agreeing with Pelosi and Schumer, and who knows what's really going on behind the scenes. I think everybody within Washington, not everybody, but the majority of them know we're on the brink of something huge. And that something huge is the destruction of the unbacked fiat money system, as every country, city, state, local government is falling apart as we speak.
Absolutely. With that being said, speaking of Trump, what is going on with the FBI that's under fire for meddling in the election? We've heard that Paul Manafort was indeed wiretapped. What say you, Bix?
Well, yeah. I mean, how come the Democrats can blame the Russians for meddling in the election? And then here we have proof positive that the FBI, certain people within the FBI, political people within the FBI, were meddling in the election beforehand. This is domestic terrorism. Yeah. So Comey and Mueller, they belong in jail. Anybody, all the CIA directors that have come out and said, Trump's such a bad guy, we've caught him and all these things, they need to be investigated. I don't care how high up they were in the U.S. government during the Obama administration or the Bush administration. If they're pulling off these criminal espionage things for political purposes, they need to be taken down. And I think they will be taken down. I think Obama should be taken down and the Bushes should be taken down. Anybody who committed a crime, the Clintons, need to be taken down if we're going to ever move forward into a sound system. But the chaos, just imagine the chaos that would cause. Half the country believes in this fantasy land of Obama, and half the country believes that Trump is the right guy, and I don't think anybody's right. I think we just need to be honest and tell everybody the truth and move forward from there.
It is a crap show, to say the least, my man.
It is, but that's the thing. When it ends, when this all these revelations, just get Uma Abedin's laptop, the 650,000 documents out of there.
No, not Uma.
Give them to the people. Uma Abedin's she was the intern for Hillary Clinton when Monica Lewinsky was the intern for Bill. Bill lost his intern because of what he did to her dress. And
Bix, hold on, Bix. I have to intercede. I did not know how I got my DNA on her dress. I mean, I was brushing my teeth, and she walked in, and there goes my DNA.
It's toothpaste.
It's toothpaste, Bix.
but Uma Abedin stayed with Hillary Clinton the whole time, and is still with Hillary Clinton. Uma Abedin's mother is the head of the Muslim Sisterhood. Talk about an embedded spy within the very top echelons of the U.S. government. The head of the Secretary of State has a Muslim spy as her right-hand person who took care of all her electronic devices because Hillary didn't know how to print anything. So Uma took everything and sent it to Anthony Weiner's laptop, and they have all those documents. There's movies I hear. There's tape phone conversations and massively incriminating stuff.
Movies? Holy crud.
Exactly. Of some satanic rituals.
It better not be the Hillary Clinton Uma Abedin sex tape. I do not want to see that.
That is included in
vomitus. I just had lunch.
I hear you. But all that stuff, I mean, the public needs to know everything. At the end of the day, we need to know everything. We need to know how we've been lied to get into these wars. We need to know every false flag that was pulled, who did it and why they did it, and then we can move on. But until we get the truth and honesty about everything, we're going to flounder around like we're doing right now.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, man. Global natural or not so natural disasters, Bix. I mean, Mexico just got hit again by a massive earthquake, and they are literally digging up. Our prayers go out to the people of Mexico City They are having literally over 200 dead, and that death rate is climbing. You're talking about one of the most densely populated areas in the entire world. Puerto Rico is getting hit by Maria right after Harvey did his number on the island. It's just going crazy, man. What say you,
Hey,
Bix?
hey guys, real quick off the wire. Breaking news: powerful 6.2 magnitude earthquake off of Japan near Fukushima.
Oh, Jesus.
All right,
So,
I'm officially moving to CJ. We're going to be broadcasting
dude, there's
from
nowhere to
Mars
go.
tomorrow.
There's nowhere to go. There's
I'm going
nowhere
to
to
Mars.
Mars has the same things probably. Actually, I heard Mars was a dead planet. It's no longer expanding.
Well, that's what
But the
that's
Earth is expanding. That's what's going on. And if you read Cliff's data from the last 2 years of reports, he said the second half of 2017 is going to be massive Earth upheavals, and it's exactly what we're seeing right now.
yeah.
So as the sun expands, the Earth expands, and the sun just had two CMEs, huge CMEs, shot right at Earth a couple days ago, and as soon as they hit, bang! There's an Earth expansion event, otherwise known as an earthquake.
Then there's only one place that's safe, Bix.
It's not in California. I'm sitting right on top of something called the Hayward Fault.
Yeah, you're sitting on ground zero of.
I know. I figure it. Yeah, it'll
What are you doing
go off
there?
right under me.
I know you're there simply because of the weather. I know that.
It's like being in the eye of the hurricane when you're in an earthquake and you're directly above where it cracks first. The ripples go out all around you, but you're in the eye of the hurricane. You're sitting right on top of the fault. So that's my theory.
Oh, so that's,
good luck with that.
That's what you're going to do. You're going to go and find where the fault lines are.
I'll find the spot. Yes.
And you're going to sit
on
on
the
top
fault
of the
line
spot.
already. My house is about 50 yards from the Hayward Fault, which is a smaller fault up at the top of the San Andreas.
Oh, yes, San Andreas Fault. Who could forget that one?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I expect, the Earth is expanding. There's nothing we can do about it. We're going to see a lot more earthquakes, bigger earthquakes, and earthquakes in strange places. We're going to see odd changes in weather, more intense storms. We're going to see volcanoes popping off. Now is the time.
And what's going on with the Yellowstone? That has, I'm a bit concerned about that.
I'm concerned about that too, but there's, you can be concerned as you want. There's nothing we can do about that. If it goes, it goes. And
dude,
if we all die, we all die. It's one of those things. You want to spend your life worrying about it.
I'm not worried about it. I just had the most delectable wings you've ever eaten. You think I'm worried?
You can barbecue your wings on the Yellowstone.
Caldera. I'll go to the safest place using the theory that you just said about the earthquake. Maybe I could apply that to volcanoes. Maybe I'll go to the center of where the caldera is. There.
I don't think it'll work for volcanoes. If you think about it, if you get yourself into the eye of the hurricane, and if the hurricane's going 10 miles an hour, you can just jog or drive with the eye until it dissipates.
There you go. Just move with the eye, man. Just have some.
The problem is on all sides of you will be death and destruction. So it'll be interesting.
But you'll be a force on the earth, man. You'll literally be like a god of destruction as you're in the eye driving along.
Yeah, there's so much going on now, and one thing that people aren't talking about is the amount of damage the dollar amount of damage are being caused by these things, and can the banks, who are ultimately, insurance companies and banks are ultimately on the hook because people aren't going to pay off their mortgages. They're going to try to rebuild their houses and try to get more money. But who's going to take the hit on these hundreds of billions of dollars in losses? It's going to be the banks and the mortgage companies, and then the mortgage-backed securities. I mean, those must be just getting destroyed. All those houses down in Florida that got destroyed, in Texas, those are all stuffed into mortgage-backed securities and sold off to pension funds that are already hurting.
And you want to know something? Here's a little something funny. There are houses who've been wrecked in natural disasters before that they've already been written off by the banks, this, that, and the other, but their titles are still part of MBSs, collateralized, and still being sold on the market. That's
nothing. They invented fake titles and threw them in the MBSs because nobody checked.
Nobody checked.
Everything was run off spreadsheets.
Yes, it was.
The what's the title where that thing they set up where they transfer all titles and all that stuff?
The chain of custody.
No. They set up a company that so they can electronically change titles without doing the
MERS.
real.
MERS.
Yeah, the MERS system.
Yeah.
That is the biggest fraud ever. I mean,
It's the hugest fraud, and it all connects to the DTCC.
Yes, exactly. And so if your bank comes to throw you out of your house, say, I want to see all the correctly signed paperwork, and they don't have it. They just don't have it.
They don't. None of them do. I've known people who've won court cases on that.
Yeah,
don't have it.
The biggest thing that's scaring me these days, in the road to root of theory, it's the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston documents say the way that money is going to be reallocated to the people after the unbacked system fails is going to be through the Social Security system, because it was the fairest way. It was a judge of how long you've worked and things like that. So when all the banks go down and nobody has anything, the government has to reissue money. They're going to do it through Social Security balances. How much have you paid in? And then everybody will get something, but those who have worked the most will get the most. With this Equifax break-in thing, that might be out the window.
Oh, dude,
it might be that Social Security is not used to allocate the new money.
And that's what I'm saying to everybody who's listening. If you're a working age adult, okay, you are a working age adult, settle it in your heart. Your ID has already been compromised. Settle it in your heart.
Yeah.
It's to think that, I haven't been compromised. The real accounts that were grabbed, guys, it's not 143 million accounts. It's north of 200 million. That covers just about every person in the United States that's working age, and even some teenagers who are not even working age.
What a great time to get out of the system. What a great time to go crypto, and you can get a loan through. Yeah, you get a loan through the new SALT program platform that's going to come out, where it's not based on your credit history. It's based on the collateral that you put up, your crypto collaterals you put up. I mean, the whole world seems like it is tumbling into the crypto economy, either by hook or by crook. And I think with the further collapsing of these countries and cities and states and pension plans, more and more people will dive into the cryptos as fast as possible. So I think, I was talking to a guy, another subscriber who doesn't believe anything in the cryptos, and I said to him, if you were able in 2009 or 2010 to get your hands on a Bitcoin, would you do it? If you had your Wayback Machine and you went back there, would you do it? He said, absolutely. Oh my God, I'd be rich as can be. Imagine what the crypto world will look like in 10 years from today.
Right.
And it's going to be 50 times bigger than what Bitcoin has already done, because the entire system is going to be tumbling into the cryptocurrencies to save them from the old corrupt system. So yes, the people who got in early made a lot of money. And the reason they did, because they were smart and they took the risk. Right now, if you think you're smart, go ahead and take the risk, because you'll deserve your multi-zillion dollars in the next 10 years.
Right.
These people who invested in Bitcoin and the cryptos early on, they aren't dumb. They saw what the future was going to bring, and they made their investments accordingly. So they absolutely deserve what they got, and they're going to deserve a lot more going forward. If you do the same thing and spend the time and energy to figure out which cryptos are the best ones to own over the next 10 years, you will be rewarded with the same kind of rewards they were rewarded with. But it takes getting over the fear and making the move, causing the action to happen. Making it happen is all you need to do, because the world's going to do it with or without you. You can join in the tsunami of cryptos that's coming up. Probably Cliff High's data has it over 2018 through 2020. The huge masses of people start moving into the cryptos. By next year, he says it's going to triple. The amount of people within the crypto community will triple by next year from where we are right now. So just think about what that will do to the price of these cryptocurrencies.
Oh, it's going to drive it right through the roof, man.
And it should. And you should get rewarded for taking that risk. Yes, there is risk in cryptocurrencies. There's risk in everything. But
there's risk in crossing the street, for the love of God.
Exactly. If you can close your ears to China and Jamie Dimon, go for it. Get in, because there is a lot coming down the pike. And if you're not in by now, you missed out on some stuff, but you haven't missed out on everything. Think of how hard it was to invest in Bitcoin in the early days. You couldn't even go to an exchange and buy it. You'd have to mine it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to get cryptos now. Just set up a Coinbase account. Yeah, it's a little quirky and the customer service sucks, but at least you get your feet wet and you can buy some Bitcoin, or Litecoin is the one I like a lot, or Ethereum. I'd say go for, just hold some Litecoin, keep it offline, and just wait it out. If you don't want any of the risk, you shouldn't get any of the reward.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Trump pivots again to join the Democrats, Bix. We see this all of a sudden, some bromance budding between the Chuck E. Cheese Schumer.
Yeah, they had a lovely dinner together.
Oh, so cute.
With Pelosi.
Oh.
Who knows what's really going on behind the scenes?
No, it's definitely a troll move, but go ahead.
Well, I think it has to do with the pending takedown of some of these bad guys. And some of these people are really bad. So it will be a disruptive, society disruptive type of thing. And some of the truths will come out. They're already coming out about, the FBI bugging the Trump campaign. That was front page of the Wall Street Journal today. Now it is domestic terrorism. It is. If you're going to rig be involved in rigging of the elections, assist in Hillary Clinton's rigging of the elections. I mean, she cheated. You remember those debates that she had this screen light up every time she was asked a question?
Yep.
She cheated left, right, and center. When Trump was hovering behind her, you remember that debate where he hovered behind her? He just wanted to see where she was going to get her cheat notes from. And she couldn't do it. So he's just hovering back. That was great.
That was great. Brilliant.
And she's, he is
he was breathing down my neck.
he was violating my personal space, my safe space.
Uh-huh.
He was just looking for where she was going to find her next group of cheat notes. Probably up on, some guy in the top left aisle holds up a sign that says yes, no, or, holds up some figure. But she had it right in her podium. The screen where she could read all the answers. It was ridiculous.
Dude, it was the worst, man. It really was the worst.
YouTube exposed all that. They saw him yanking him away, and they saw her screen light up on her podium whenever she was asked a question. That's crazy stuff, but that's the world we have to live in.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. It was that little glowing screen at the podium.
Oh, yeah. And then when, the debate was over, you see some little minion run out and pull out the drive that was running it. Yeah.
Yep. Sick, man. Absolutely sick.
But that type of stuff, if the Russia meddling in our elections is the biggest thing in the world, what is it when our FBI meddles in our elections? It's domestic terrorism.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is this crazy psycho is out on her book tour, and the last one she did around here somewhere.
Did you see her? She looks like she's 50 years old.
Oh, dude, she looks like
50. She looks like a brand spanking new.
Yeah, it's called makeup.
Dude,
that's makeup, bro. That's some high grade.
That's not makeup. No.
Of course it is.
No, that's a clone. That's what I think it is.
No,
a clone or a body double.
No,
because that is not the same Hillary Clinton that took the tumble on July 4th, or was it July 4th or September 11th?
Yeah, September 11th. But either way, man. Either way, though, it's like they put her book signing in Costco right behind where the toilet paper was, and across from the X-Lax and the pens.
She probably couldn't even fill up that stadium. Remember, she was
couldn't fill up anything. Couldn't fill up a Costco. And then the funny thing is, now the crazy wench wants to go contest the elections. I love it. I don't know who's advising her, but I want to applaud the person who's advising her, and I want them to know, please have Hillary do more. It's wonderful. I love it.
I can't believe she's still making money from anything anymore. Whatever happened to the Clinton Global Initiative? Have they shut down yet?
Just about.
Nobody's contributing to it.
Nobody's contributing out of fear.
Because they get nothing from it. It was a pay-to-play type of thing. So now that the Clintons are out of politics, they want their daughter to get in there. I don't know why, but now that the Clintons are out of politics, nobody is putting a penny into the Clinton Global Initiative because they get nothing back.
Right. Yep.
Anyway, yeah.
Yep.
That's the state of the state these days.
Indeed it is, sir. And that brings us to the end of the broadcast. Bix, give out your website, give out your services, and how people can follow you, sir.
Doing most of my work on YouTube, the Road to Ruta YouTube channel, or go to roadtoruta.com. The website, I got 13,000 3,000 articles on silver, gold, the cryptocurrencies, the changing of our current system into a new one. Lots of good stuff at roadtoruta.com.
That being said, folks, I am the monkey god himself, joined by the producer extraordinaire. We are V and CJ, the dynamic duo that brings this broadcast to you. Follow us on roguemoney.net, Twitter at the Rogue Money, and Rogue Money on Facebook, Rogue Money on Steemit, Rogue Money on DTube, Rogue Money on Tumblr, Rogue Money on just
Rogue
about
Money's everywhere.
Everywhere. We're everywhere you want us to be. With that being said, take it away, CJ.